Hey everybody, it's Ray
and Ken,
Two Drunk Brothers Garage. This is day 2 of the Durango front suspension. Believe this is going to be video part 2 as well, probably. Got a lot of footage yesterday. I don't know, but it's probably going to be video too. But we
hope it goes back together.
Yeah, run down everything. We got everything tore apart yesterday on both sides. And got the lower ball joints pressed out and the new ones pressed in, and that's where we called it a night. We're replacing the lower ball joints, the upper control arms ball joints, tie rod ends, and brake pads, and we're going to put new rotors on it.
And shock.
And shock. So we got both sides tore apart. But we're back at it day 2, and we decided instead of each of us taking a side, we're just going to start on one side, get it wrapped up, and then go to the other side. And we're going to start probably on the passenger side. Still got the wrench there from yesterday where we pulled off the tie rod end. We're going to leave the locking nut on there because that should be our adjustment. We're going to just run the new one up, tighten it up. It's going to have to go in for an alignment, and they'll adjust if needed. So here we go. Here's the new tie rod end. We got to put the Zerk fitting in, the grease Zerk. The only other thing is this one had grooves notched out to get a wrench on it. This one's just got flat piece all the way around. Other than that, we're going to get that Zerk fit on there. We're going to get that run up there. Kenny's going to take the opportunity while we have everything tore apart. We're going to get the grease gun, and we're going to grease this lower ball joint. The Zerk is right. Oh, it's on this side on there. Yeah. Grease Zerk right there. We're going to go ahead and get this filled with grease. Start getting her back together. Well, Kenny's messing with the grease Zerk on the tie rod end. I'm going to go ahead and maybe fill this up. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it one-handed, though. So I went ahead and got the lower ball joint greased up. Got plenty of grease in it because it came out the
Top of the boot.
The top of the boot. Kenny's gonna put the tie rod on and on.
You wanna hand me that crescent wrench there, brother?
Got the big 15-inch crescent wrench. You're gonna have to I imagine they probably don't need to be that tight.
No. It's down to the nut, and
yeah, it's tightened up back to the nut. We get that crescent wrench out of there, and that should rotate around. So it'll be pointing down.
Nope, points up.
This one points up.
Yep,
see?
they both point up. And those washers that I got for the new bolts,
we did buy new bolts. They're not.
They're the same size washer, so the head size doesn't matter because the washers. I took one of those washers and matched up to the best bolt there, and they were the same size washers.
So we're gonna install the upper control arm, get it bolted up there loosely. Then we're gonna grab the spindle, slide it up over the lower ball joint, drop the upper ball joint in, and then once we get it all loosely assembled, we'll get everything tightened up.
Where did the little packet with, oh, there it is. I was gonna say, where did the cotter key go? Cotter pin. Put that in that trash can up there, buddy. Let's see, what's it say? Avoid premature bush wear. Do not fully tighten bushing until suspension is at ride height.
Good to know.
That's not.
So we're not tightening.
I think they're talking about them. I don't know. It says bushing, unless that's considered. I don't know. Good question.
Yeah, we don't tighten it until it's at right height.
But you got to have the tire on
Yep.
to put it at ride height,
Yep.
then how do you get back there and tighten it?
You just drop it down in, I think we can drop with an extension down and hit them, tighten them up.
Oh, what the heck? Oh,
It's a plastic cap on there.
yeah, for probably travel purposes, so you don't rip the boot, because there's a boot underneath there.
There you go. And is there a grease zerk on the top of this, or is this a greaseless
This
one?
is a greaseless one of. I did not measure the head of these bolts, what size they were. Just that these are 14 millimeter with a 2.0 pitch. Yeah, this one's stopping too.
Okay, well, don't,
I mean, it starts easy.
yeah, but not as easy as this hole. No, so that hole over there, hold on a second. Let's get one of the old bolts, run it through, so we're not damaging the new bolt. Just gonna run that down in there, so clean out those threads.
So it looks like there's a little paint in there.
A lot better.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Kenny's gonna go ahead. Now that we got those holes cleaned out on that, he's tightening that up.
Ooh.
I would. Oh, you're just until we get the spindle on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Because we don't know if.
Right. We
it's
got to
gonna-
be able to move. Yeah.
You got to be able to slide in the hole. But you got to be able to line up the top part of the spindle. So speaking of the spindle, it should be behind.
Spindle is here, and we're gonna clean it up.
Yeah.
So Kenny's cleaning up the spindle here, knocking off the heavy stuff, and then he's gonna go ahead and probably hit it with some brake clean and clean it up. I just realized that I have a dentist appointment, so I'm gonna run off. We got the time lapse running in the background. Kenny's gonna go ahead and continue on the passenger side, and I'll be back hopefully in about an hour and a half or so, and we'll continue the evolution.
Yep. Okay, everybody. I got the spindle up here. I just got the nuts on here. Nothing's tightened yet. I got a little grease put in to the tie rod end. Now I just cleaned up the back side of the bearing where it goes into the spindle. Got the heavy duty dirt off of it. I'm gonna put the ABS sensor in it before I put it in, because it'll go back in there, and then this thing will be almost back together other than tightening everything up. I'm gonna get the torque specs on all the bolts, and I'll put the torque specs in another part of the video.
So I just got back. Kenny's got the passenger side. He's got the hub back on. He's got the spindle, the upper control arm, lower ball joint.
They're on. They're not torqued down yet.
Nothing's torqued down. He's got the torque wrench out. He found the torque specs online, and he's gonna start torquing everything down. I was only gone about an hour or so, maybe a little bit longer.
I gotta figure out where that one goes.
Oh, you got to get that bolt, that bracket back on too.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I wanted to get this torqued down first.
Oh, the hub?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Hopefully I can get in.
And what's the torque spec on the hub?
The hub bolts are 123 foot-pounds.
Wow. Okay.
And the axle nut's 180, and upper ball joint is 60, lower ball joint's 135, and I cannot find the torque spec for that. But these are 155, according to whatever I found.
Okay.
So, and it don't say nothing about it being at ride height, but I'm sure by the time this is all tightened up, because that flexes anyway, so.
Yeah, but I think it'll settle it in the frame cradle
Yeah.
the best
And I
to
thought
to,
about,
to alleviate the stress on these. I believe is why they say that. That would be my
because
guess.
this has a torque spec, which don't have to mess with because it's already set.
Right.
And that, so.
There's one.
That one's tight.
There you go. You just gotta push her down, Ken.
Tight enough.
Well, it snapped, so tight enough. So we checked online, and from what we can find is 135. So Kenny's gonna go ahead and torque that down. There it is.
Now I gotta find the hole for,
Now he's got to line.
and they
the
say
castle
not
nut.
to unloosen it, tighten it to find the hole. So now
Well, that makes sense.
I just gotta, I have no idea where the hole's at.
There. Secured.
Do the upper ball joint, and this one's actually a ratcheting it. You could actually back it off with this too.
And this one is only 62
60.
foot-pounds.
Yep. Wow.
And he's got that tightened down. He's got the pin in the castle nut, and he's just
Gonna bend it.
bend it down on this side just to lock the castle nut on. And then we're on to the tie rod end. We found online there 25
25 foot-pounds.
25 foot-pounds for that tie rod end.
Whoop, that was just the initial. There's
we go.
enough there. All right, so now I'm gonna bend that over top of the. I probably should have some pliers, but I don't. Not on me. Anything works. Just want to make it so it can't come off.
There you go.
Now I got to do the big daddy. Let's see.
So this is a 180 foot-pounds. So we just got a pry bar wedged between two studs. Got it resting on a piece of wood down there so the hub doesn't spin while Kenny's tightening that nut up. And there she is.
And then you got to put the, and when you put this back together, there's this little spring. And the spring, the what do you want to call it, side goes in. That's what gives this. You got to get this lined up. Where's my hole at now?
Holes on the side.
Holes on the side. So you got to get the groove lined up.
Big cotter pin.
Come on, baby. There we go. Because that's supposed to hold, kind of holds the cotter pin in place.
Holds the cotter pin in, but it also holds the nut in.
Yeah, I'm going to need a pair of pliers, or because that one's a little tougher than those ones there. Oh.
My brother's kind of a big wimp guy.
Just makes it easier to do it by. Okay, now
Just joking.
let's do the shock next, and then we'll put the. Actually, I need to probably tighten these up if I'm going to put these. Well, I need to torque these too. I'm just going to torque them to 155.
Well, you should torque them before you run those nuts up.
Yeah, I'm going to. I'm just going to. Well, they only go so far because they're nylocks.
those aren't he bought new bolts, and he's bought some nylox for it. After he torques the bolts down through the frame, he's just gonna go ahead and run those nuts up in there as a extra precaution. There's one.
Wow. At least this one will have a little more room to. At least we hope. It's amazing. Okay.
So this dust shield goes over the top of the ABS sensor,
Protects it.
supposedly. I'm sure he'll have ABS alarms when we're done. Probably because we had so many problems when we put these hubs in. We actually replaced one of those ABS sensors, didn't we?
No, well, when you buy the hubs, they come with the sensors in them. And the first time the ABS went off, well, we broke one. We just tried to buy the sensor, and it didn't work. And there may be a torque to this, but this is just a dust shield. I ain't worried about it. Alrighty, brakes will be the last thing we have to do.
Kenny's got the new shock. The wimpy shock compared to what was on here, but
But who knows over the... I think I'm going to use the big fat nut. I don't know what the little skinny nut is
he's
for.
gonna use the big fat nut, guys. Shock temporarily, just not mounted yet. He's just got it
The
in
bottom
there.
one was?
80 foot-pounds.
80 foot. No. Can you see the red?
No red yet. There it is.
No, the only thing left is the rotors and the brakes pads
And we have brand new rotors.
and brand new brake pads.
Maybe.
Uh-oh, Leroy.
These are 5-hole. They're 5-lug hole.
Don't even.
1, 2, 3, 4. Actually, they're 7-hole.
Yeah, okay.
Tried to get him, guys. Tried to get him. He wasn't following.
He does it all the time to me.
There you go.
Alright. Who got off with my damn
New
cow?
rotor on. Oh. Should we clean up the surface of those?
Yeah, you're supposed to take and I always pull spray brake clean on them and clean the shit off of them.
Yep, I'm gonna do that, folks, just because
Here,
I
you're
think
gonna
it's
need
the.
another can of brake clean because that one's all gone.
They just in that plastic bag they have a fine coat of stuff.
Either I'm
So-
blind.
I'm gonna go ahead and get a rag and clean that up. And he's just tightening, using the old pad to push against
The piston
to push the piston back in the caliper. I just sprayed brake clean, wiped it off. So that new rotor is ready.
Uh-oh. There it goes. There's no way. I guess I need to do a little more squeezing,
Yeah, I think you need to do some more squeezing.
but I can't do it on that pad. Them are some thick ass pads. God, dog it. All right, here we go. Wow. Wow, that sucker's tight.
You want to run a couple of your lug nuts on backwards?
Can't run them on backwards because I have chrome. They're locking.
We're just getting the bolts lined up in there. That one I think is started. Kenny's working on the bottom. All right, we're gonna go to
The
the
other
driver's side. So I'm gonna go ahead and start on this side, but I'm gonna try something that I've seen on YouTube I don't know. We'll see if this works. Hey, look at that. The snapping of the fingers works pretty good.
All back together.
All back together. New shock, new upper control arm with the ball joint, new rotor, new brakes, new tie rod end, and down here,
Lower ball joint.
Lower ball joint. The only thing we didn't do on the front suspension is this lower control arm, but
And any of the bushings that probably need to be done for the sway bars and yeah.
But we did, this brake caliper went on a lot easier than on Ken's, and this rotor does spin. His is pretty tight over there, so that's going to be interesting. Maybe we just didn't compress the piston enough on that side.
Thought I did.
Yeah, but anyhow, everybody, we're going to clean up and
Call it a day.
call it a day. So we got it down on the ground. Looks like it's sitting a little higher than it used to. And we left the hood open last night and the light took the battery out. But we got all the tools put away. Got her down on the ground. We're gonna go ahead and get it started. I don't know if Kenny's gonna back it out for the night or what, if it's staying in, but
Well, probably gonna leave it on the battery charger overnight.
leave it on the battery charger overnight.
Get it started.
But it does look like, it gives the appearance that it's running a little higher, and Kenny will come over here and push down on her. She's definitely a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot stiffer than it was when I. The old shock, I could move her about 1.5 inches, 2 inches.
She was floating.
Yeah. Oh, going down the road, she was like the old hoopties. All right, everybody, we're finally done with the Durango. It went back together easier than it took apart, but that's in case of everything.
Yeah.
But I was really surprised when we did the lower ball joints, how easy they pressed out. A little
And-
harder to go in.
Yeah, I struggled just with the alignment of the tool and the cup. It's just an alignment issue, but finally we just went with brute force and pushed it up in there.
Right.
But yeah, everything went good. Kenny's got it on the charger. He's gonna let it charge because the battery. So
Yeah.
we left it the hood open last night. But thanks for watching, everybody.
Yep.
Hope you enjoyed.
Yep. And if you like the video, subscribe, comment.
Yep. The
And-
thumbs up. You know, it doesn't
Yeah.
cost anything to do that, and we would appreciate it. We're working on this channel slowly but surely, and if
Yep.
you're sticking around, well, we appreciate anybody and everybody that watches. We really do.
Yep. So we're gonna say
Cheers. Cheers, brother.
cheers.
From Two Drunk
Drunk
Brothers
Brothers
Garage. Can of corn.
Good can of corn.
Good can of corn.